Oh my goodness. I think we are live. I think we finally got it. Yesterday we were trying to go live so desperately between my account and another a fellow practitioner's account, and Facebook was just being ornery as heck. Like I even was overhearing what is one of my educators, Jan Van Zant. Even she was having password issues. Well, she was having password issues. There was no way to connect live issues. So luckily, I think everything is doing okay now. Luckily, I see that a couple of you have come in. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me this evening. Would you just do me the greatest honor of just saying hi there, hello, something, just to let me know that the comments are working? Shalonda, perfect. Thank you so much. That lets me know that the connection's doing okay. You can hear me, you can see me. How does the visuals look today? Are they clearish? You can see my face. You can see that I have brown hair. I'm not like smeared on the screen. Please let me know if you can see me just fine, because I've done a little bit of tweaking. So I'm hoping things are getting better. Because of course, all we want to do in life is level up, right? Or at least this side of the fence does. Just saying, this side of the fence. Just hello. I want to say your name correctly. It looks like Shakira, but I'm not 100%. So you'll totally have to let me know the phonic pronunciation of your name. Shalonda, I said hello to you. I want to make sure I say it again. Danny, hello, hello. Oh, perfect, good. I'm glad I said it at least well enough, because sometimes it's like, okay, there's no point in that one. Hello, hello, Brenda. So before we hop into this topic, Regina, hey, I wanted to know, when was the last time you've received like your own personal tarot reading? Like not just by me, but like ever. When was the last time you received a reading? Was it like a week ago, a month ago, last year, never? When was the last time? Hey Sandrine, when was the last time y'all got a reading? So just type that into the comments. It lets me know kind of like what kind of time schedule are you on when you think about getting readings, when you think about getting work done. What kind of time schedule are you on? So tell me the last time you received a reading. How many weeks, months, years ago was it? And while you're doing that, I'm getting all my oils and funsy stuff together. Because I got my notes, so I want to make sure that I don't skip my ideas. Don't you hate that? You prepare something and then you forget. So Regina, you said about 2 months ago. That's awesome. Danny, you said December or January. Got it. Gotcha. Who else? Sandrine was like 10 years ago. Honey, you had tarot readings like 8 minutes ago. Sandrine is part of our learning group, so often we're working together. I try really hard not to read for people in that group because my whole mission there is to help you learn and not do the work for you. So Sandrine, you have one just last week. Sweet Amanda, Brenda. Oh, just a couple days by me. Thank you, darling. Wonderful. And Shalonda said about 3 months ago, you think you have another one, though. You have questions? I understand completely. Not by you. I understand, Citrine. Wonderful. Well, I wanted to talk about today, when is the best time to get a reading done? Because I think there's a little bit of a misnomer sometimes floating on the air about when to and when not to. So Jenna says that she's never had one. Sweet. Well, when you get one, maybe you'll have a little preface as to like when is the best time to get a reading. Because sometimes, and even as a reader myself in the tarot reading community, I feel like I have an in on all the complaints of tarot readers, of all of the like, don't come to me when kind of scenarios. And what I am finding is that 9 times out of 10, a lot of influx in new clients shows up in moments of crisis. Understandable. Often when people are distraught or in emotional turmoil, they seek out things that are familiar to them to help them feel better. However, sometimes that's not what's necessary. So I thought I would just chat about it. Because first off, my opinion, totally my opinion, okay? I feel like the best time from a reader point of view to get a reading is anytime you want to, right? Anytime. If you're a reader. Now, if you're the client, if you're the querent, if you're the person who is seeking an answer, I feel like the best time to get a reading is when you are in a state of curiosity with maybe the need for clarity. Because the alternative is if, for instance, you are in a state of depression, if you are in emotional crisis, if you are in some sort of distress, those are not good times to go and get a reading. And the reasons that I feel that is the case is because often when you are in distress, you are very fixated on the problem. You're very fixated on what is happening, what is causing distress. We're fixated on what is going on right now, and it is really, really hard to kind of pull back and look at the situation from an objective point of view. So, and as a reader, at least, now I'm saying that there are some readers that does handle crisis modes. Find them. Maybe that'd be perfect. Maybe I actually need to like interview one of those. I need to interview a crisis, like, I think I might have one in mind. See, now y'all making me flip my whole script. Anywho, for me anyway, how about we just do that? So when we are in a state of crisis, my experience shows me is that it's really, really hard to look at it from an objective point of view. So even when I am giving encouragement and giving sweet consolidations and trying to give hugs as best way as I can, often, for instance, if somebody broke up with you, often the question is, how do I make this pain stop? How do I get them back? How do I go back to the way things were? And it's really hard to move someone from that point of kind of like self-nibbling on their own Achilles kind of moments. And it's not that it's not impossible, it's just I don't always know if the messages stick, if they stay, and if they actually benefit us long term. Hi, Kanal. So those are a couple of the reasons why I definitely am not a big fan of people getting readings or going and seeking out tarot readers when they're in a state of crisis or in a state of depression. I also think, and this is maybe just a personal like thing for me, so this is just an Abby thing, right? If you're reading on the same question over and over and over and over, then we may have a conversation that involves like, okay, we need to stop doing this. With the lovingest, kindest, most generous heart, of course. But often, if we are reading on the same subject over, and not even same subject, we're reading on the same question over and over and over again, something has not been listened to, something has not been heard. And I'm a firm believer in saying it as many times as necessary, but I also do agree that after a while, it just seems like we should be making some sort of progress. If you come, for instance, if you come to me, how can I make progress on this? Suggestions, invitations, allowances here. These are some solutions to the situation that are going on. You leave for a month, you come back, how can I make blah, 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 and it's the same thing, and it's the same thing, and it's the same thing. I feel like often those situations we're not being listened to, we're not being heard. So while I don't mind hanging out with you, at that point, we're not really getting much productive work done. And that's kind of like, I mean, I guess I can take your money, but I really don't want to just be that way. I don't want to be that way. I want to be useful. We want to be useful. Another, a couple situations where I don't recommend using tarot readings is in relation to like health diagnosis. So totally down, hey Cynthia, totally down for like, how can I navigate with this prognosis? How can I navigate with this situation? How can I elevate, move forward from here? Totally doable. If you're asking me, do I have cancer? Bowing out. Hey, Amy, bowing out. When it comes to legal outcomes, and those are kind of like one of those that your life is dependent on it kind of situations, I think those are moments that are best waited until they happen. Now, once we have a outcome, then we can work together to kind of make a game plan for moving forward. I also am a firm believer that if you are in the middle of a psychological breakdown, you don't need a reader. You need counseling, you need therapy, you need help, you need support in a way that I'm probably not going to be there to help you with. And that's when I'm like, I need to pass you on to somebody that might be better suited to handle maybe your crisis, maybe something else that's going on. Maybe we have a counselor support network that I don't have access to that's already part of your team. How can I nudge you in that direction? And I'm very clear about these are where my lines are. These are where they're not. This is where I'm qualified. This is where I'm not. I make a clean, firm point. Like, I do not dabble in areas that I do not have a license in. I don't have an authority in. But yeah, those are some of the reasons as to why, or what was it? What was the question? The statement was, when is the best time to get a reading? I always think it's in those moments of curiosity or need for clarity. Maybe even for entertainment, because I don't know about you, but tarot's kind of freaking fun. Like legit fun. Especially if you are, if you've had a sip or two of wine, it is funny as hell. Now, I don't suggest drunk, like not shit-faced drunk. Hey Steph, not smashed. I don't recommend smashed because at that point we're stumbling over our words. We're maybe telling entirely too much truth. We may be opening up our inner darkest parts of ourselves that may not actually be accessible after this moment. So while it is fun to drink when you've had a glass or wine of two, I definitely don't recommend reading while smashed. Personally, I love reading with like half a glass of wine because then I feel like the track, like whatever the conduit, is like a slip and slide, and it gets real greasy, and it's amazing. It's real amazing. So Teresa had a question, what about for relationships? So the topic isn't so important for me when you are in, because the question is when is the best time to receive a reading or when to inquire or get one. About relationships, yeah, the topic isn't so important as it's the emotional, I guess the emotional baggage that sometimes comes with it. If you've just freshly broken up with someone, like they broke up with you and then you call me, whoa, give it a second. We need to process. You need to process. You need to go through what you're going through and maybe talk to me in a couple of days so that I can help you move forward from there. Like when the tears have finally stopped, that's the really good time to reach out to a reader. But like literally when he broke up with you or when they like said, we need to see other people, that's not when to call me. Because what I'm going to do is put on my boots and want to go kick somebody for you. I have a real hard time like not getting team you. And that's even like, that's my bias where it's like, if somebody hurt you, I want to go do battle. I'm full Aries woman right then. And I'm just like, all right, when who do we need to go kick? And you don't want me coming from Seattle. Oh my gosh. So Teresa, right? So when is the best time to get one in a relationship? I would say the same thing. When you are in areas or modes of curiosity with maybe a need for clarity. But anytime innately. The whole point though is not in a state of crisis because the damage is already done. We're not avoiding anything at that point. And I can't help you in crisis. You have to go through your crisis. You have to come up off the mountain. You have to come off the ledge before I can reach you. Because when we're in crisis, when we're in chaos, when we're in that dark space, it is really hard to reach you. I can totally hold your hand, rock you, tell you it's gonna be all right, honey. It's gonna be all right. And maybe put my boots on and get ready to go kick somebody for you. But if the goal is like, in all humor aside, humor aside, if the goal is actually to make forward movement from there, we cannot make that forward movement in that moment of crisis. So that's like that's the line. That's the line of demarcation. That's the peripheral of when the best time to get a reading is. You're single since so long. I want to know what's up with my love life and how would we meet? Sweet Pea, that is excellent for a reading, and I am not reading in this conversation. This is just a chat. These are our daily chats. However, something that I am considering, actually not even considering, I've already decided that I'm going to do it for you all. So you 12 are the first ones to see or hear about me doing this. I am going to switch our daily chats that we've kind of gotten the rhythm of doing to daily one question live readings. One question live readings. And the premise, or at least the format of that and how it's going to go down is I'm going to collect questions ahead of time. And then I'm going to do it for about 7 days. Through the 7-day, one day, I'm going to pull a question. And I'm going to do a tarot reading on that question live for everybody. So I haven't decided if it's going to be full spread, kind of like in the video format. If you're going to see me from above head as I'm doing the read, may do that. That'd be that's kind of cool. I may do that. But the whole point is to spend a little bit more time on the question, to get a little bit more of the nuts and bolts of the question, kind of get to the roots of the question and read for it kind of from like the beginning, the middle, the end, the advice, the root, the cause, get the nuances so that there's an end package. Because it's so fun to do the lives for you, but they're short. They're short and they're like microwave snacks. I want to start giving out some meals. Well, okay, so let's say if the lives are snacks, then I want these reads to be like these daily one question reads. I want these to be like lunch. I want these to be lunch so that by the time you've decided that you're signing up for dinner, you already know exactly what you're coming for. Hey, Yasmina. So yeah, that's the game plan. That's the game plan. Alrighty. Lobsters. Hell yeah, lobsters. Canola, if you need to set up a reading, please feel free to visit the website directly. There is a link on this page. You can also reach out to the Facebook Messenger, and I can send you a link to the website there so you can schedule the time to work with me directly. I have 4 modes of getting in touch with me, 4 modes of working with me, so it's super easy to get some work done. But outside of that, I love chatting with you. I love getting to know y'all and your situations and what's going on for you. So I look forward to doing this work, doing this project, doing this 7 days of 1 question readings for you all so we can get to the nuts and bolts of some of the stuff. Also, I find it's really useful for the people in the learning group to kind of understand what it looks like to do full reads on a question, at least the way that I present it. And that's kind of the whole point of the group is, from an Abby point of view, this is how I attack it. This is how I look at the situation. This is how I dive in. So yeah! Anywho, you all take care. Have a grand old rest of your evening. I know it's late these days, but I feel like y'all are more likely to hang out with me when it's in the evening instead of like midday. So I gotta go take a walk with my wife. It's our evening exercise before I start running. So I'm gonna be running soon. Anywho, you all take care. Mwah.